What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today, in the review box, we have the Koenigsegg Regera. This one is from Tarmac Works. It is the first, licensed diecast version of the Regera to officially hit 1/64th scale. So for that reason, it's a little bit highly sought after. But is it any good? Is it worth getting, or should you go ahead and get the Fronty Art resin version or the non-licensed HKM version? Let's take a closer look at it and see if it is worth adding to your collection. So as always, let's get things started with our casting here. So taking a quick look at our proportions, very happy to report all is looking good, and it is very much looking like a Regera should. Very, very beautiful. Kind of pop it next to the real-life car so you can kind of get a good look at it. One thing to note, though, is that this is kind of like the high downforce package that you can get with the car. So it does have a few little extra pieces that car doesn't. But it is what it is. This is what they've given us. When we break the casting down here, we will see that the majority of this is going to be a die cast. So you're going to have a very nice, everything you're going to see in this blue is going to be painted, going to look pretty good. That is going to be your die cast chunk. Your base is also going to be metal, so that is very nice. It kind of wicks up into this nice diffuser section, which looks really cool, all the way up into the splitter. You do have some plastic, obviously. Your mirrors are going to be plastic. Your rear wing is going to be plastic. This chunk right here, this intake, I guess, this is plastic. And then obviously these little tiny arrow pits, those are also plastic, even up front here. But your main splitter is going to be kind of worked into your base here, as well as this kind of like intake area as well that is also going to be metal. So it does have a very nice chunk of diecast to it. All your main body lines are going to be replicated quite nicely with the side intakes here, your door lines looking good. Hood up here, you got kind of these vents thinking looking pretty good. These little lines up front, and then kind of the sister ones in the back there, all replicated quite nicely. Diecast, yeah, I'd say as far as the casting goes, pretty solid. Paint and deco. So let's get things started. This is the first version that's kind of been like a wide release, a general release, I would say. And it's kind of the original presentation scheme for the Regera with this nice metal flake blue, a very light blue, and it really looks beautiful. And it honestly suits this car's shape really, really well, in my opinion. Now, there is also kind of like a ruby red metallic one that is out. And then I think there is an orange kind of metallic that's on the way. And then there was the actual initial release. The first version of it was kind of this purple carbon one, which looked really cool. That one was a show exclusive, though, so getting it is a little bit pricier. Let's move into our details. And starting up front here, you do get two plastic inserts for your headlights, which look quite nice. You got the little extra reflector lights, or whatever you want to call them, looking really good. Little Koenigsegg logo there. And then a little bit tough to tell, but not really any meshing or anything back here. Not sure if that's accurate or not. Tarmac Works tends to leave that out, though, so there probably could be some meshing back there on a higher priced model. Interior, not really a lot of detailing going on there. I mean, it's molded into the plastic, but there's no real painted work or anything like that. It is what it is. Down to the sides here, you do have accurate wheels represented here, which do look quite nice. And then you do get little reflective paint there on the mirrors to kind of give you just that extra touch of realism. Little reflector here on the side. Making your way to the rear, you do get two little taillights. You get the Koenigsegg word, and you get the Regera on the license plate. And then you get this exhaust tip, which has a little bit of paint on it, but nothing crazy. It's mostly black. Making your way up to the top section here, you do get the Koenigsegg Regera logo kind of written out there. And then you get the iconic ghost right there as well. So detailing, very nice, especially the price tag, but maybe not the greatest in terms of other brands out there. Moving into our roll test, it is a Global 64 release from Tarmac, and it actually is going to roll very, very nicely. This is one of the best rolling Tarmac works that I own. Putting it on the scale, it comes out to be 47.21 grams, so it does have some very serious heft to it and has a good heavy feel in your hand. pros and cons. Getting started with our pros, the biggest pro, in my opinion, is going to be this is basically the first 1/64th scale diecast Koenigsegg Regera. Now, this car has been out for like 10 years, so how is that possible? There is a 1/64th scale one that has been done by Frontier in resin. That's expensive though, and I don't really like resin models all that well. And then I think HKM has a Regera out as well. However, that's non-licensed. So if you want an officially licensed one, this is the only way to get one. Still to this day, you know, even though the car's like 10 years old at this point. The second big pro I'm going to say is that it has a good level of detail. Nothing crazy, but it definitely gets the job done and looks nice. When it comes to the cons, though, there are two that I kind of want to say. The first one I'm not actually going to include as a real con. It's just kind of a personal issue I have, and that is there's no kind of carbon accents. You know, if this car was to be done by Mini GT per se, like this area here would probably be carboned out. The wing would be carboned out for sure, and the splitter and stuff like that. And that is something that Tarmac Works seems to refuse to do on the Global 64 lineup. And I'm not sure why, because Mini GT can do it and keep the prices about the same, so I'm not sure why Tarmac can't. The actual con, though, is there's no sleek trim. And what I mean by that is there's no trim level. Like, they don't offer the model at all without these kind of extra aero pieces. Now, while I personally prefer those aero pieces, I think they look quite good, I have seen more than a few complaints about those and people wanting kind of the sleek and slim version. For some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some budget-friendly Koenigsegg's that you might have, with the Koenigsegg Jesko Attack from Hot Wheels over there on the left, and the Koenigsegg Regera from Matchbox over here on the right. And for some kind of premium comparisons, here we have it with the CM model Koenigsegg Jesko Attack over there on the left, and then the Jesko Absolute, this time from Poster Cars, over there on the right. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and find some overall scores. Hype level for me, it's going to be a 9.7. I was very excited for this one. Very happy to finally be adding a Regera to my collection. The execution is going to be a 9.8 out of 10. I just wish there had been some carbon accents. That's really the massive thing I wish we would have gotten. Feedback is going to be a 9.45. The community was a little bit harsher on this, and it seems to be stemming from the fact that there is only one trim level option. That there is no kind of package that doesn't have these extra aero pieces. A lot of people seem to prefer the Regera in that kind of sleeker design, but me personally, it doesn't bother all that much. But when we take these three scores and average them out, we will be left with a 9.65 as our overall score, and I think that is a pretty solid score for what is honestly a great model, especially for its price tag of like $13-ish. I do wish it had the carbon accents. That would have really put it over the top, in my opinion. And then having those sleek aero options would have at least been a good choice, I think, for them to do. I know with the, CC850, they have a version with the wing down and a version with the wing up. So maybe they could have done something similar for the Regera. Who knows? Maybe that's still something that's coming down the road, though. I still think it looks amazing. While it could be ever so slightly better, it's great, especially when you factor in it's taken this long for us to get a Regera at all. It is also easily the cheapest 1/64th Regera, with the HKM coming in at like 25 plus usually, and the Frontier I think was $50 when it first came out. So for those reasons, I would still absolutely highly recommend this one, especially if you are a Koenigsegg collector like myself and you were missing the Regera in your collection. And that'll do it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and don't forget to leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you guys in the next video.